Welcome into the Sports Buffoons Podcast. Yo, let's get going out there, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the world. Welcome on in, back in once again to the Sports Buffoon Studios here out of Lenexa, Kansas, of course. Tanner crack-a-lackin' open a bush right out the gate, I guess. All right, man.
Did you hear it say bush?
Now we know what Tanner's sipping on, at least, to start the show. Welcome on into a Happy Halloween special, of course. You guys, this is our... How many Halloweens have we done on the show now? Is this
4?
5? No, hold on. 2020, 2021... 2022, 2023, this is our fifth.
It's our fifth?
Fifth
Wow.
Halloween show for the Sports Buffoon.
It's special.
And so we've had some interesting things over the years go on. And we had one time we had like sound effects nonstop. That was probably really annoying. If you guys wanted to
Do you remember there was, I think it was the second year, we were at your apartment still, or first year, one of the two.
We were only there for like 1 year, I thought.
So well, it was one of those, it might have been that year, but we had the Halloween background going, and all of a sudden, the video from the previous week started playing on the background.
Oh, that was pretty crazy, man. that was interesting times in the early stages. Now, we still have, like, we're still the Sports Buffoons, and we still have buffoonery, and we still have things to happen that shouldn't be happening. But back then, it was literally every show something would go wrong. So if you want to enjoy watching some amateur hour, then go back and check out some old stuff.
Yeah. So Halloween special going on, guys. What's your costume over there, Jason?
Well, first and foremost, I owe you guys an apology, right? So I promised you guys some this week, and I did not deliver. So we've got the jack-o'-lantern right here. I promised you guys we would have the Captain Morgan drink.
Yes.
For the Halloween drink, otherwise known as the Jack-Off Blast. I promised you guys we'd have that here. But all of the liquor stores ran out of it.
Yeah.
So now we're stuck with the Cutwater White Russian, which is like a cheaper version, I guess, of the Jack-Off Blast. But so now I have to wait until next year because all the liquor stores ran out.
Yeah, that's too bad.
So
I was hoping we'd get some, but
It's a rough time.
we'll try for next year, I guess. And try to get
Anyway,
some of that
my
stuff.
apologies. I fully intended to bring you guys the Jack-Off Blast, and it just didn't happen. That's what she said.
Starcy said he loves the background. Appreciate you, buddy. But where's Tanner's costume? It's right here. And if you can't read it, I'll try to get it here. It's due to inflation. This is my Halloween costume. So
Yeah.
Oh, he's getting ready to vote. That's why he wore that.
is that what it is?
Yeah, it's voting season,
Due to
bro.
inflation, this is my Halloween costume.
It's voting season.
This year, I've been laying in bed a lot, so I'm just going to go as a sick fuck. That's what I am this year. I'm a
Is
sick-
Kanye?
I'm a
Is
sick-
Kanye?
sick fuck.
I remember 4 years ago. I think Kanye was on the ballot in some states. Is he on the ballot again this year?
Couldn't tell you.
What are you
dude.
talking about?
I have no idea.
Talking about voting.
Did we just go from Halloween to Kanye on the
He's
ballot?
going back to voting.
Well,
He's
dude,
going back to
How
voting.
did, how did we go from Halloween to Kanye
Because-
on the ballot?
Because at this time in mind, Jason's head is either
Antonio Brown
Dude,
might be on the ballot.
betting or
He's sitting there
politics.
talking about inflation while pretending
It's
that
my
he
Halloween
he actually
costume.
cares about Halloween, but
It's
he
my
doesn't.
Halloween costume, dude.
All right.
Anyways, you guys, let's just go ahead and say it out loud. We're talking mainly Cheifs today, but first and foremost, guys, everyone's probly watching the World Series.
Wait,
at the
we gotta do
moment.
a shout out, man.
Oh, well, let's do our first shout out of the day then, because we actually have 2 shout outs, but let's do the first one then.
Yeah, we do. Hey, shout out to Oakley and Emily. Appreciate you guys. Happy Halloween for you guys.
And go to bed, right?
And get your butts to bed.
Yeah, that's
Before I send this guy over,
yeah.
and you'll regret all your choices.
He actually has a button on his side of the table, and when he pushes that button, that's when the JG goes off the rails, and then that's when the PG part of the show comes to a screeching halt.
Well, see, that's what I was afraid of. I didn't realize the first 5 minutes were going to be PG. So
There you go.
that's the button that tells us it's now. See, guys, I've been off and on the show. It seems like for like a month now. So I didn't know how the protocol worked any longer.
And that's
so.
why when he was sick, we went completely off the rails. We started talking about the NBA before Christmas.
I did hear that.
Normally, we're not allowed to talk about the NBA until Christmas Day.
It was opening week,
But
though.
he was gone, so it's like
It was the
we could
opening
do
week
whatever-
coming up.
Yeah,
Like,
we could do whatever the hell
It
we
was
want.
free to talk range right then. So
All right.
And we made good time on our shows. So
We did.
Well, we also, like AMS used to say, a loyal patron supporter. We have Mr. AC had a question, or wanted us to at least give our input on the experience from yesterday's game, where the fan was trying to basically wrestle the ball out of Mookie Betts' hands, or glove, I should say, there at the track. Just kind of what your thoughts were on that situation. Those fans seem to be pretty proud of themselves. They're also allowed back into the stadium right away. I think they're at the game today.
No, they were not allowed back.
Well, I think they're back today.
No, they're not. They are not. The Yankees came out. They refunded their money. They are not allowed back in for Game 5.
So they got to go out there, try to steal a ball, and get free money?
And they got they
game?
didn't free money. They just got their money back.
So they can't go back from Game 5. But they'll be back next year, though.
Yeah, I mean, they can come back next year. They're just not allowed back in this series. So
They'll be coming for Mookie again, I bet. But
I mean, why not?
what do you guys think of that scenario? Fan interference and just kind of the douchebaggery.
Can I
of
pull the biggest
Yankee fans?
JG move out there right now? The biggest JG move out there. Anytime we
He already knows what I'm gonna
anytime we
say.
talk
Like,
to Jason
he already knows what I'm
about
gonna say about
these
this shit.
kinds of events, these kinds of headlines, right, that pop in, he's usually on the complete opposite side of the public, right? Most of the public wants to, make sure these guys are banned forever. Don't give them satisfaction, everything else like that. Well, I'm taking the JG round in this one here. Did you see the passion these guys had ripping the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove? Did you see the heck no, hell no, you're not getting this guy out. You don't have the ball. You don't have the ball. And the fact that they won't let him go, I'm for it, man. That was pure fandom. That takes some cojones to do. First off, especially spending over $1,000 a ticket, that's some cojones. Yes, suspend him. Don't let him back in for the series. That's fine. Regroup. See what you want to do from the Yankees. For next year. But I mean, these guys. If you're a Yankees fan, I'd applaud them too. I'd applaud them too if I was a Yankees fan, which I am completely not. So
here's the thing: when you buy a ticket to any game, any sporting event, you're allowed to do whatever the hell you want. Now, let's just keep it with Major League Baseball right now. Now, so as MLB, I now have the right to ban you for life. Okay, so there's two flip sides of the coin here. MLB can ban me for life, but as a fan, when I paid for that one game, yeah, you can ban me for life afterwards, but for that one game, I can do whatever the hell I want.
You could sneak into a VIP room even if you wanted to.
With Taylor Swift.
Yeah, you could do that if you want
Not
to.
that ever happened.
It's
not like that ever happened, but
You could sneak into a suite, which is obviously for VIPs, and it's okay.
Yeah.
It's allowed.
You
If
can do a whole
You bought a
floor.
ticket there.
and
That-
get into
yeah.
a suite.
Get
bed.
in there.
Yeah.
that was a myth. That actually never happened. But the bottom line for me is life is full of risks. If you don't take any risks in life, then you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as the people that did take risks. And for me personally as a fan, once I pay the money to go to a game, I can do whatever the hell I want. We've had fans throughout history have gone streaking
Yes.
on the field, like Will Ferrell style.
I don't think they're allowed to do what they want.
I
I think they get arrested.
But
still.
there's different levels to it, so you have to take that all into account. So how much of a risk do I want to take? Do I want to take the risk of
ripping
possibly,
a ball out of a guy's freaking hold his arm?
do
while
I
they
want to
rip the
be
glove
banned?
out?
Do I want to be banned for life? Do I want to be banned for a year? Do I maybe, like these guys, not be allowed back for the rest of
Well,
the
if you're like
series?
X Factor, cause enough trouble, then
get
eventually
punched.
you start some fights. Be kind of a little kid diddler. Then you'll probably get banned for life, which is what the
Yeah.
Chiefs did to him.
Yeah, I think
X
so.
Factor ain't allowed back.
So X Factor took it. I think he was just trying to break all of the records on my
for
theory.
as much as he
Just,
possibly can get away with.
literally, he took it outside of sports, which was unfortunate for him because, you shouldn't be taking that outside of sports and just start robbing banks. I mean, you could,
Well,
but then,
that was the
then
other
you're
guy.
going to suffer.
We've had a few of those turds, but X Factor was just kind of the creepy dude that was getting pictures of little kids and stealing charity money and on lots of drugs at all times. So
Honestly, that guy should have never gone to jail. He should have been admitted to a mental institution.
Well, I know he got banned from Arrowhead.
Did I see something about him returning to Arrowhead as
No.
X Factor?
Tanner, he's not allowed to come to Arrowhead. He's going to away games as X Factor.
Oh.
He wants to go to away games as X Factor.
That's what it is?
So he wants to bring back X Factor, but like go to a couple games that he can afford to somehow steal charity money.
All I know is I like fans getting involved. I like 2004 NBA when the fans start punching players and the players start punching back. When you pay the price to get into the game, you can do whatever you want, but understand there could be a price that you're going to have to pay at the end of the day.
Yeah. I didn't really care about the situation, honestly. Like, I've not been following this World Series that close, especially when LA went up 3-0.
You want to know a fun fact here? It's my actual first time watching the series, so
That's fine.
I just haven't been into it.
It's football season, and the Royals are not involved in the World Series. But, obviously, I'm not a big fan of Yankees fans in general or the Yankees. So that in particular makes me not be in their favor in this situation. And so for me, obviously, it's not something that should be allowed because it could be something that's continuously done throughout game after game going forward, setting that precedent that it's okay to have those kind of actions out there. So, but at the same time, it's the World Series, and those are fans being fans that are obviously very dedicated.
Passion,
and
man.
Passionate about the situation. So, there was funny enough, guys, this kind of reminds me a little bit. There was a game many, many years ago, about 50 years ago, where a fan jumped onto the field in, I believe, the Super Bowl or one of the championship games in the NFL, that is, and actually blended in with the defense and then made a tackle on the play.
Oh, yeah, I saw the highlight.
This happened a long-ass time ago.
Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I can't
I don't
remember.
think I ever saw
It just came to my mind that a fan jumped on the field. He blended in so well with the defense, no one noticed. And all of a sudden, I think people started getting up off the pile and realized that there was a guy out there with no pads on. But this happened, it was probably in the 60s or 70s when that happened. So
I think
YouTube, though.
One of my favorite things is when people just like run onto the field, I mean, especially if you get naked and run around on the field like that. I mean, you're not going to go to jail for that, and you'll probably go to a game. You'll be allowed to go to games.
If you're running naked, yeah, you're going to.
It depends on who's running naked. Like
stadium jail.
Yeah, there's a stadium jail.
Yeah, you go into that stadium jail. They ain't just going to let you out.
I'm talking about like a naked chick. If you want to,
they're still going to stadium jail, dude.
Yeah, for what, 2 days, and then you get out.
Whatever it is, still doing it.
All right. Anyways, right now, game is top of the fifth. It's 5-3 Yankees. LA's making it interesting, so I'll give them that.
By the way, so Cole had the third out, right? It was a PFP play, right? Ball hit to first. All Cole had to do was run over to first and be there for the throw, for the throw from first base. No, he sits there, runs halfway, points at the first baseman, who's well behind first base, and allows a run. So then it became 2. Now it's 5-3 with 2 outs and guys on first and third. So once again, mental mistakes from our stars in the game causing issues like this. And quite frankly, I hope it comes back to bite them.
Absolutely. All right, guys, let's jump back over to the NFL, obviously, talk some Chiefs for a bit, and our biggest contender at this point in the AFC. So, guys, the Chiefs have had an interesting last couple of weeks, or so I would say, obviously with the trade of DeAndre Hopkins. Hopkins came in and did exactly what we kind of thought he would in that first game, kind of just getting used to the system, used to the play calling, getting in the rhythm of things, and just, he's a veteran that's been around for now since 2013. He knows what to expect. He knows in most situations where to line up and what to do. But it's Andy Reid's offense. It's not always going to be that easy for everyone to just jump in and know what to expect. But 2 catches for 29 yards, 3 targets. The one target he did miss was on Mahomes for overthrowing him.
It was.
So it's not like Hopkins was doing anything wrong there. But, I've enjoyed the addition so far. We're going to see a lot more of where that came from this coming week against the Buccaneers, I would say.
And we got a tie ball game, boys.
Tied game. LA's got this.
You blew it, Cole. You blew it.
And then the Chiefs came out just, I think, 3 days ago and made a trade for Josh Uche, the linebacker for the New England Patriots, who I think, in a lot of ways, the system fit for him has kind of worn itself thin. I think the guy is going to be an athletic speed rusher for this roster, which is something the Chiefs do lack on the defensive end position. So ran a 4.58 at the combine back in 2020, and just 2 years ago had 11.5 sacks. So obviously the guy's got some great talent. Bill Belichick was asked about it, and he also had let everyone know that Uche is just a great athlete that's going to fit in well with the Chiefs scheme. So just another piece to rotate in with the DNs and on third down situations. So that's going to be nice to have on the roster. And then, guys, we heard some rumors. Obviously, the loss of Jalen Watson last week, and then add on Najee Johnson as well, injured. The cornerback situation is looking a little interesting to where the Chiefs are actually now rumored to be talking to teams about a cornerback trade. I'll be curious who they come up with, if anybody for that matter. But I love the fact that at least Veach is trying to make moves for the roster to make this season work when things are not going as planned injury-wise. And every team's beat up and injured, But we're trying to put pieces back together where there's flaws. So as far as the trades go and just kind of the situation at the hand of possibly going for another cornerback, what do you guys think about that?
Love it.
I'll start with DeAndre Hopkins. I think my favorite thing about that move is that you're going to see this as a situation where that chemistry with Patrick Mahomes just slowly grows as we build towards the end of the season. That chemistry, I think, could be a situation where it peaks at the right time. As we talk about this every year, we want the Chiefs. We want to get their shitty games out of the way early in the season, which even though they're undefeated, that's kind of what they've been doing. Like, they haven't been playing that well, even though they're undefeated. But we want to play our best football towards the end of the year, and I think that's the most exciting thing for me when I watch a guy like DeAndre Hopkins is just watching that chemistry grow as the season progresses. I think we acquired him at the perfect time, and I think that chemistry is going to be amazing when we get in there towards the playoffs. Obviously, I love the add of Josh Uche, as you were talking about, for a rotational piece on the edge there. In terms of a potential cornerback trade, I just want to talk about the election for a while, and it has nothing to do with football, but the first person that came up when we were talking about the Chiefs potentially trading for a corner was Tre'Davious White that played for the Bills, okay? And I'm going to bring in a little analogy here, because when we talk about the election, every single time we're voting for president, what's the saying that we always hear out there? Anybody but Trump. I don't care if you want to throw my grandma, my great-grandma, whoever you want to throw in there. We want anybody but Trump to be the president. And that's kind of my philosophy when they first threw that name out there with Tre'Davious White. He's 29 years old. He's a banged-up cock. I mean, he's been injured. He's always injured. Like, I don't know when the guy plays. So for me, yes, totally want to go out and get a corner for the Chiefs. But for me, it's anybody but Tre'Davious White. I do not want to see that fucker come in here and just get injured after like a week and a half.
Yeah,
I haven't heard of that yet.
It's funny how some corners just seem to come in hot and then fizzle out so fast. And he's one of those guys that just the injuries took toll.
He's been a healthy scratch for the past 3 games.
And at this point, he's
for
just
the Rams. Yeah,
it's funny how these cornerbacks work. I mean, it's hard for these guys to be top line players for so long.
Yeah, when you tear your ACL and then your Achilles.
Yeah,
like
it's a tough position as it is, but you got to be in your athletic prime to be able to keep up with the receivers in the NFL.
I think the guy I heard about was Newsom up in Cleveland.
Greg Newsom?
But I don't think it's going to happen, guys. And the only fact is, it's because now they got an actual quarterback that can win them games. So now they can get back to winning and actually be competitive. So, they'd have to lose to trade him. So
yes, to me, as far as like what corner particularly, I don't have one for you guys. Like, I just think in general, it would be nice to have an extra piece brought in, of course. But the Chiefs also, let go of a couple guys in training camp that they could bring back as well. They at least have some familiarity, and that would make sense.
Isn't Boodle still out there?
I wouldn't. We're not bringing back DiCaprio Boodle at this point. That project is long gone.
You know what I saw today in the article? I threw my computer out the window at the office. Is bringing back some retired guys of Marcus Peters and Steven Nelson.
God.
Ooh,
Steven Nelson sucks
Marcus
ass.
Peters.
Marcus Peters and Nelson coming back, baby.
That's spicy, man.
So, Tanner,
that's spicy.
I don't know if you realized that the same year we brought in Steve Spagnuolo was the year Marcus Peters was let go from the team.
Yes.
And
yes.
Let's just say that those two would not get along very well.
They would not get along
because
at all.
Marcus Peters is a little pussy.
He has to tackle.
And Steve Spagnuolo expects his cornerbacks to actually hit a goddamn guy.
Yeah.
So we're playing football. And Marcus Peters doesn't want to play football. He wants to play a little dance around, ring around the rosy bullshit. And maybe flag football fits better for what he's into, but in the NFL, that's not going to work out too well.
Can we not be a little bit open-minded here on the possibility that maybe Marcus Peters at his older age has matured?
No, he has not.
Oh, you think it's mature?
No, I'm not saying one way or the other. I'm just saying, should we be a little bit open-minded to the possibility that maybe he matured a little bit?
Oh, this was from.
Or is he still doing dumb
Fox
shit
Sports.
that I haven't been following?
I think there's nothing about him that would be.
I mean, we brought
good
back
for this team.
We brought back Kareem Hunt. Why would you not bring back Marcus
It's
Peters? You know,
just an entirely different position, first of all, and mentality, second of all. And Marcus Peters will never have that mentality.
But Marcus Peters, did he ever kick a woman? I mean, Kareem Hunt kicked a woman,
whatever
and
Peters
we brought
did
his
behind
ass
closed
back.
doors, I don't know, but I don't think I want to know.
I don't either.
You don't want to know.
He was pretty
So
stupid.
It was worse than kicking a woman in the leg, you think?
I don't know, but if he's going to hit anybody, it's not going to be a male. I'll tell you that right now. It's probably going to be a woman. So he was pretty terrified of any man with a penis that came near him. So
I mean,
this is
also a guy that we suspended at one time, and Raiders didn't have any more luck with him before he retired. So
that's
well, the Raiders don't matter. I mean, whatever happens on the Raiders, it's kind of like you're in NFL purgatory.
I mean, if you can't win with the Raiders, oh bullshit, then you ain't gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
What happened, Tanner?
Your charger's still plugged in.
No, we're good. We're still live.
Did you lose power to part of your house, Tanner?
No. We're still live, bro.
Turn it.
What do you think about the Phoenix Suns, Mike?
What's funny, we are actually doing this podcast right now in the middle of a storm, and so there could be some technical difficulties, per usual. But I don't know what happened over there to Tanner's stuff. But get the lights back on, Tanner. Maybe look at that. We are back.
There it is.
Lights are back on. Did the thunderstorm do that, Tanner?
No, your charger was still plugged into the outlet.
Did it kill it then? Is that why?
That means the other plug was out.
Guys, it's not a buffoon show without something. So that's all right, man. All right, anyways, we're getting off that topic because it's kind of silly at this point. Let's just see what happens. Let's just say I'm excited about Josh Uche and then just the development, once again, of Hopkins. So, Tanner, do you have anything to add to that one?
Well, apparently your dad's in the chat and he used foul language. So,
Did he
sorry,
really?
Dave.
Who did?
Your dad.
My dad used foul language?
Yeah, don't know what he said, but
what does it say?
I don't.
Dave?
Please refrain from foul language. It's a bot.
Oh, the bot erased?
Streamlabs bot. So
I've been using
bots,
foul
dude.
language today, too, just to
I love the
get
bots.
some words
but
out.
not in the chat. We do have Alan down there. Alan, welcome into the show. Appreciate you, buddy. He says, just got doing a
censorship that goes on in this world anymore.
It's how it is.
What I
man.
can't deal with.
He said,
You guys are like talking over each other.
He
Did
said,
you not notice that right now?
Alan.
Wait a minute, Tanner, did you not notice that?
Oh, go ahead, Tanner.
You're talking over each other.
I'm trying to read a comment.
Did you not realize you're
You want
talking
me to
over
read a
each other?
comment?
All right.
No, I don't care.
Oh, okay.
What is something wrong with your headphones?
Please go on.
Just got done doing a podcast during a storm. Gotta love the Botkins internet. Hey, man. Nobody has the better internet than Nick Botkins himself. And you guys, if you watch the Let's Talk Sports shows, you guys know.
Well, he lives in the boonies, doesn't he?
He lives
Probably
in
his problem.
Yeah, he lives in boonies, and let's just say it's a rough connection. So,
Tanner, did I just hear thunder through?
Yeah, man.
See, I'm hearing.
well,
weird
no.
things.
Oh, he did hear the Oklahoma City Thunder, which means he does want to talk about the NBA for a little bit.
All right, we're
Hey,
never going to
Alan's
get the show
a
over
Thunder
with unless
fan.
we move on. We got to move on, guys. All right, so getting past all the Chiefs stuff and all that. So just going into the game Monday night,
give me the
obviously we need to look into that for just a moment and bring up the injury report for us, Tanner. Now, playing the Buccaneers is going to be a little easier than we thought originally, maybe a few weeks ago.
It's true.
Chris Godwin's out for the season with the torn ACL. And then Mike Evans still is going to be out for a bit with, I think, a concussion still.
I think it's
or hamstring.
Hamstring, yeah, that's what it is.
Hamstring, excuse me. Which obviously those are two extremely important pieces for that offense. But Baker Mayfield still, he's had a good season in my opinion, and he's going to find ways to make it interesting. I think that Bucky Irving's done a good job for the Buccaneers offense, and I just think in general they're one of those teams that
wasn't there practice today for a Monday night game?
Interviews were today at least.
Okay,
so there was at least interviews. So. I would assume there was practice, but they should have released a report.
Well, Cheifs.com didn't release that.
Okay.
So
well, maybe because it's Monday night, they decided to postpone that. But
yeah, so there's no injury report right now, so that's okay. That's okay. We don't need to worry about. We kind of know the big names on that. Jody Fortson going on IR, opening that spot for Uche.
Yeah.
Ooh, Carlos Anthony Towns, 44 points tonight. 12
This
boards.
is why we can't stay
Bobby,
on topic.
his name rhymes with Bobby Boucher. Did
right.
you notice that?
So, do you guys have any concerns of going into this game now? The Buccaneers are obviously depleted. The Chiefs obviously are rolling as they should be. We have the number 1 ranked rush defense in the NFL right now, holding teams to under 3 yards per carry, which is crazy. And not that that's a concern necessarily against the Buccaneers, but just one more element that's going to make it difficult for them to move the ball. I think going into this game, Monday Night Football at home, it's possibly some weather. We're going to see some possible rain.
I mean, we're talking about possibly 10 inches happening here in KC.
I mean, we'll see how it goes.
You remember the Seattle game in the 90s when the weather just flooded down through Arrowhead on the field?
We'll see. It's also Wednesday. The game's on Monday. The weather people don't know shit.
Well, Gary Lezak sucks.
Gary
Lezak, no, he does not.
He needs to quit covering his damn water meter with mulch.
He lives in Colorado now.
Yeah, well, that's probably the problem then.
Well,
So he's high and drunk all the time.
No, I read meters in Colorado as well. That's part of my
job. Is that what your issue is?
He covered his freaking meter.
He probably
I got
did.
Pissed.
He covered that
pissed.
meter. I know he did.
Make you guys work for once. I don't know.
You got to get a shovel and then dig up his yard. It's bullshit.
Watch out for the spiders.
So I don't care about spiders.
But no, look, there's the concern here is it's going to be the game that's with Baker on that side of things, right? Rashad White, Bucky Irving. It's those two guys. And Kate Otten had a great game last week. We know how we are against tight ends, and if we have the mismatch with Cook on there, I think Reed has to be on the tight end. We can't let Chenal do it. We can't let Bolton on it. Kate Otten will blow you up again. If you allow,
especially in the red zone, he's been doing a good job getting open. So, and honestly, the Chiefs' biggest weakness this year and flaw is against tight ends. But for me, if we're going to shut down everything else, then so be it. Let the tight end beat us every once in a while. To me,
it's not national tight end either. So
I don't care or worry about it right now because I don't think you can do everything perfectly. Something's going to get through. Something's going to leak at some point. And for me, if our weakness all season long is against tight ends, so be it. When we face Sam Laporta in the Super Bowl, we'll worry about that when the time comes. So,
hey, we got a Dave comment here.
Oh, didn't get censored this time?
We got a Dave comment. He says, hey, Marcus, fuck your mangina away. Streamlabs is so soft keens.
I hope you're reading it right because I can't read it all from here. He's that is censorship. He's doing the loophole is what he's doing. He's going around the censorship, so... I think he said Sofa King, Tanner.
It's a Sofa King's, Stewie PED.
Sofa King.
I win. Good job, Dave.
He beat the censorship of Streamlabs or
Dave
whatever we use.
Yeah, that's right. So, stupid bot.
Yeah, the bot.
I got to figure out how to disable that.
Why do bots get to control what's said on here?
I don't know why we got even bot on here.
Tanner, why is it that you pay for this and yet...
No, I don't pay for this. That's probably why.
Oh, so if we paid for it, then we could say whatever we want?
Probably not. I mean, let's we see what Streamlabs is or StreamYard is. So
I'm just saying, if they want us to pay them money, then it'll be allowed.
I'll
to
look
say
into it.
like,
I'll look into it and get rid of it.
Oh, I thought you had me convinced we were paying money for this thing.
No, because you guys didn't want to pay money for StreamYard. This is why we're using this. So,
all right, guys, let's go ahead and just jump to score predictions for the game. I think we all know what we're all expecting from the game. I think here we are getting lazy at 7-0. And, not necessarily wanting to deep dive with you guys on facing the Buccaneers on Monday night.
You're 8.5. Chiefs favorite. Over under is 46.
Right. So, guys, winner and score prediction. What you guys got?
I'll go cover here. I think they're going to cover, finally. I think that Baker Mayfield has had one hell of a year. Obviously, you talked about the loss of the receivers. Defensively, I mean, I feel like the defense is okay versus their divisional opponents, which their division is trash. But overall, they have a bad defense, the Bucs. And so I'm going to go 24-13 Chiefs. They will cover, and I think it could be worse than that. I think this could be the game where we finally unleash the passing game on the Bucs. We could blow it wide open, but I'm going to go conservative, 24-13.
Yeah, and the Buccaneers have the worst pass defense against quarterbacks in all of fantasy football statistically. So,
also receivers.
So something to keep in mind. This could be a game, like as you just alluded to, Patrick Mahomes putting up big numbers, and potentially Hopkins with his breakout game as a Chief would be cool to see as well. So I like it, man. For me, 31-17 Chiefs with the win here, making it look fairly easy, but I think at the end of the day, it's going to be fun to watch the defense and see the amount of turnovers they can get Baker Mayfield to force. What you got, Tanner?
I'm a little disappointed that we're entering the same 8.5 already. So, look, I think it's a similar deal. We should have covered last week against the Raiders. So, I'm going 27-21. We don't cover.
27-21. Wow.
I think the Kansas City Chiefs themselves make it interesting for no apparent reason at all. So
okay. Well, we're good at that. I will say that. So, all right, we'll see how it turns out, man. I feel pretty good about it. Of course, I got offered to go to the game, free. Once again, that'd be my third free game of the year, but I had to turn them down because I will be. These late night games, man. I don't get home till 12:30 or 1, and I'm an old man, and it's a struggle. Living out where I live, going from Arrowhead at that time of night.
We're gonna find out how much of an old man you are because I'm going to the Bucs game.
Yeah, you're gonna be there.
I'm gonna wake up. I'm gonna wake up at 6 the next morning, so we'll see how that goes.
Bring
some Xanax. I'll probably need some Xanax the next day.
Tell him no, Mike.
No, if it's a downpour though,
Mike, what you do is you tell him drive to DeSoto and back to his house from the stadium, and then wake up at 6 or be to work at 6.
Yeah,
that's what you tell him.
I'm going to go find Tay-Tay because she knows me. I got her phone
She'll
number
be there.
last time.
Oh, she's going to recognize you, man.
Yeah, I got her phone number.
Oh, that's true.
So
the
there's
weirdo
a
at the
picture you
window.
took over. She looked right at your
The
ass.
weirdo at the window.
Yeah, if it starts to rain, I'm going to go up into the suite with Tay-Tay and everything's fine.
Yeah. Keep her warm for the game.
She took good care of me last time. So.
Mm-hmm. All right, guys. Let's move right along here. I did want to play a stupid little game with you guys for a minute.
I love stupid little games.
Now, today, obviously...
Let's go.
Tomorrow, being Halloween. Halloween, the
What are you, drunk?
No.
The custom.
I got a bet going on right now.
Tanner, you guys are like little squirrel brains over here. You're talking about NBA. You got World Series back here. Tanner's got a bet.
You're over talking.
Tanner's looking at Division III football games on his phone right now. It is a mess. So
a win.
All right, let's get you guys back on track with some candy. How about that? So, guys, obviously tomorrow being Halloween, I just thought we'd put together a little candy comparison idea that I had with NFL players across the league. This could be anyone from today or even in the history of the league, if you'd like, that would relate to these specific candies. I'm going to name the candy, and I want you guys to tell me the player and a quick reason why that player fits with that candy. So we'll see what we come up with. My first candy, this one's kind of a crappy one in my opinion, but the Tootsie Roll.
Tootsie Roll?
Yeah, Tanner gets excited for that one. So Tanner likes the Tootsie Roll, I guess.
Actually, I don't mind that candy. So.
All right, so who would be your Tootsie Roll player of the NFL? Anyone
Who wants to go first?
No, Jason.
Jason doesn't want to go first.
Tootsie Roll is like one of the most overrated candies of all time.
Overrated?
I mean, like... Nobody cares about it except the 4-year-olds until they turn 5, in which case they realize, oh, this candy actually sucks, and then they stop eating it. So they actually like it for 1 year of their lives.
Wow.
Very overrated. However, my comparison is not an overrated player in the NFL. I'm going to go back to William the Refrigerator Perry of the Chicago Bears because he was the biggest Tootsie Roll of all time.
Okay.
So
Giant, and he probably had.
Wait.
He was the biggest one.
You
dude.
just led the Tootsie Roll part segment as one of the most blandest, basic, like lamest candies.
No, I said no.
And then
it's-
you put Perry
Fridge.
in that.
No, I'm just saying like.
He's a
it's-
big Tootsie Roll.
The candy sucks, but the player,
The candy sucks. But
the player is a Super Bowl
compare him
champion, dude.
To the Super Bowl champ.
the player is
I
a
don't.
Super
I
Bowl
don't
champion.
understand your comparison, dude.
Well, he's an amazing Tootsie Roll.
Oh my
like
God,
he
I don't know
over.
what this
He
means.
was.
Does this mean something we need to talk about off air?
Yes.
Okay.
So
maybe this means some kind of thing.
No,
we should not say
on the air,
live
on the air.
on the internet.
It's probably safe.
Yeah, we
no
should
matter
wait for a
what,
different
you
time.
could talk about humans.
Jesus,
You could talk about
dude.
human beings, presidential candidates, whatever. There's always this overachiever out there.
Okay.
So William the Refrigerator Perry is the most overachieving
Okay.
Tootsie Roll of all time.
All right. I don't know what that means, but okay.
He was a huge cock in the NFL. So
Well,
get it.
there's
All right,
probably
that's
a
fine.
few of those, but
That's fine.
okay then.
Not everybody's meant to get it.
Cool.
Okay, so
Do we need to go next, Tanner?
yeah, go for it, man.
All right. My Tootsie Roll of the league is Trevor Lawrence. And the reason I say Trevor Lawrence is because, you're going to get him every year. You know it's coming. You can't get rid of it. You don't really enjoy it. You know it's not going to live up to expectations. Basically, you see that thing in the bottom of your bag and you're going, do I want to have that? I mean, it's there, so I'll get to it eventually because I'm going to be hungry later on a few days from now when I go through all the other bitter candy. I'm not going to throw it away, but I'm also not going to eat it. So to me, Trevor Lawrence is our NFL Tootsie Roll because underachiever, can't get rid of him, probably stuck with him because you're going to get him every year.
gosh,
That is my Trevor Lawrence Tootsie Roll comparison.
I like the comparison, but it's sad because does he really suck that bad? That's the big question.
It's not
guys-
great.
Find out later.
It's not
There's
great.
so much hate for the Tootsie Roll around here. By the way, Dave out there said, I thought Chris Jones had the biggest Tootsie Roll of all time.
Yeah.
Good job, Dave. Good job. We're sitting here, Tootsie Roll. Guys, I have a different taste of Tootsie Roll. I think Tootsie Roll's like, you know what you're going to get. It's chocolate. It's chewy. You're going to get it every time. Every time you're going to get Tootsie Roll, it's the same thing, right? Year in, year out. Well, guess what? Who's year in, year out? You're going to get the same thing year in, year out. That's Kirk Cousins, ladies and gentlemen. Kirk Cousins with the chain.
Yeah, but
Year in,
do
year
you
out.
really enjoy Kirk Cousins?
I don't mind it.
You don't mind the Tootsie
I don't
Roll.
mind
He
it.
doesn't mind the Tootsie Roll.
I don't mind the
So
Tootsie
you're
Roll.
gonna get it every year. You know
so
what you're
I
gonna
don't
get.
mind the I don't
That's-
mind the quarterback
I don't-
being a
But
consistent
I
performer.
don't like that comparison at all
Why?
because there are multiple weeks throughout his career where we get really excited about Kirk Cousins, and I've never
Oh.
been excited my entire life about a Tootsie
That's
Roll.
if you're really.
Well,
That's if you're
we-
really hungry.
We all have different opinions of a Tootsie Roll. So that's my
Sure, but I think we can all
opinion of
agree
Tootsie
it's below average on the candy scale.
Yeah, I'll
Okay.
agree on that.
We'll go with that. Next one, guys, on my list. Let's talk about Snickers. Who would be a Snickers bar
When you're hungry, get a
in
Snickers.
the NFL? What do you got, JG?
Snickers, the first player that came to my mind was Dan Marino because it transcends all eras, right? Dan Marino transcends all eras. He was chucking the ball down the field back before we knew how to chuck the ball down the field. But you also have enough protein mixed in with your carbs so that you have the ability to chuck the ball down the field and throw for 5,000 yards or whatever the hell that guy did back in the 1980s. So Dan Marino is my Snickers bar.
Dan
All right.
Marino.
Mine for this season, at least. I got Will Anderson Jr. of the Texans. He has got 7.5
Ooh, I like
sacks
that.
on the season so far. He is something to be obviously aware of. You enjoy it if it's on your side, of course, but I like that he's a little nuts and full of chocolate. And so that would be Will Anderson Jr. would be the Snickers bar for this season because Snickers bars are, in my opinion, one of the elite candies. It's in my top 5, I would say. And so for me, Will Anderson Jr. with the king size Snicker bar would That's my guy. 7.5 sacks.
So when
so far.
when you're hungry, you need a Snickers, right? So when you need a play.
I just realized, fuck, I just realized the next candy that's coming up after this, and you guys. Okay, we'll save that for later.
So when you're hungry, you need a Snickers. When you need a play, who do you go to? Right? When you just need something, it's Justin Jefferson. It's JJ. Right? When you need something, you go to. Now you ranked the Snickers. Top 5.
You guys don't even know what I'm laughing
top
about.
5.
By the way, you have no clue.
You did the top 5 in your candy. I mean, they're top 10 in mine. They're not top 5 in mine. I'd rather have other stuff. Actually, one's on this list that I'd rather have. So, but look, give me JJ. Give me JJ as a Snickers. When I need a play, we're going JJ. So Justin Jefferson's the Snickers.
I can't do this shit.
So did he already go?
Yeah, that was a Snickers.
So we all three
the
fucking
Will
went.
Anderson.
All right.
So what? So we got to move on to the next candy, basically.
Yes, and that's
Reese's peanut butter
the
cup.
Reese's Pieces.
So that's what was next.
All right, I guess Reese's peanut butter, not Reese's Pieces.
That's what was next on my list. That's why I started laughing, because I was like, okay, yeah, this is gonna be kind of weird. Okay, so it's kind of weird, boys. The first player that came to my mind, I don't even know. Maybe he already knows. Maybe he saw my cheat sheet over here. But when you open up a pack,
I just can't wait for this one.
when you open up a pack of Reese's peanut
There's
butter
2 of
cups, yes, you get 2 of them, right? So the first player that came to my mind with the Reese's peanut butter cups, since you get 2 of them, is the all-time great running back of the Buffalo Bills, Boobie Dixon, because anybody that has boobies has 2 of them. In some countries, they only show up with 1. Sometimes they get 3. But the Boobie Dixon is the first guy that came to my mind, because you get 2 Reese's peanut butter cups in a pack. So he is my double D's Reese's peanut butter cups of all time.
It's quite a stretch you're coming out with today.
Boobie Dixon. By the way, one of the greatest NFL names of all time.
Yeah.
God. All right. For me, I got Derrick Henry as my Reese's peanut butter cup, because obviously it's once again another elite candy bar or a candy circle, whatever you want to call it. But I like how it's smooth. It's smooth. It's got the perfect combination blend of speed with the strength of Derrick Henry.
So what's the chocolate? Which one's the peanut butter?
No, I'm saying those 2 combined together is what makes it Derrick Henry, because you got the blend of the 2 things.
What do you mean the blend of 2 things?
Chocolate and peanut butter that are meant to be together.
Ooh, that's a good lightning strike. There's chocolate on the outside.
Yeah.
Peanut butter on the inside.
Those 2 things combined, when you bite into it, obviously,
you're tasting both. Okay, that's fair.
it's Derrick Henry,
Okay.
which is smooth.
Okay.
It's the perfect blend.
You
Tanner.
put my
You blend 'em-
chocolate in my
you blend 'em
peanut
together.
butter. You put my peanut butter in the
It
chocolate.
blends together, making the perfect
Only the
piece,
real ones
which is
know.
why Derrick Henry,
Happy
as a running
Halloween,
back,
ladies and
is the
gentlemen.
perfect piece for today's NFL.
Perfect. So we got 2 running backs.
All right.
Tanner, what you got?
I mean, I got a half a running back here.
You got a
So,
half of a running back.
Reese's peanut butter cups, guys. Similar way, right? You talked about 2 being in a pack here for me. I got a guy that's 2 ways valuable on the field, and he's shown it this season. How about Jaden Daniels? Has a freaking arm, be able to get the ball where it needs to go to in the arm, and he's able to run the ball, in a similar fashion of getting with the yards when he needs to here. Jaden Daniels is my Reese's Pieces.
All right, Tanner. Reese's Pieces. Next one, we got 2 more guys. Don't worry. We're getting there. Candy corn, everyone's favorite, right?
Actually, I like candy corn.
Tanner
a lot.
likes candy. See,
That's top 5 in my book.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Nothing.
Makes sense, I guess. All right. JG, I know you're a candy corn hater, so I want to hear who would be your candy corn.
I can't wait for this now.
I don't hate it.
I thought you hated it.
Most certainly do not hate the player that I'm about to compare it to.
After the first player, yeah.
It's way too much sugar for me, right? So, like, when you eat that much sugar, like, there's no protein like most of these other candies that we're talking about. So, first player that came to mind for me, the candy corn, was Vontez Burfict. Many years with the Bengals, also wore orange, the color orange, like the candy corn. And he reminded me, Vontez Burfict reminded me of the candy corn because it's all sugar. And when you get amped up on all that sugar, you don't actually care about the game. All you really care about is going out and injuring You want to go out and injure as many motherfuckers as you possibly can. You don't even care about the final score of the game. Just injure, because you're all jacked up on sugar. And so that's what candy corn brought to my mind. So I thought about Vontaze Burfict because he always seemed like he was just jacked up on all the sugar. He didn't really care about the game.
It's probably true.
Who retired at halftime for the Bills?
Retired at halftime for the Bills?
Was that Vontaze or was that somebody else?
Well, I don't know if he did. When was this? How long ago?
A few years ago. I can't remember who it was. Let's see.
Oh, there was
Who
a
am I
player.
thinking of?
I know what you're talking about.
Or you could actually go.
It wasn't Vontaze.
You could go with his
It
teammate.
wasn't Vontaze.
Yeah, Vontae Davis.
Yeah,
Oh.
Vontae
That's who it
Davis.
was. That's what I was thinking
Yeah,
of.
Vontae Davis retired.
You could have gone with his teammate, Pac-Man Jones. That guy was all jacked up on something usually, but he also liked to go to the script club. That's why I respected him.
My candy corn would be Baker Mayfield, just because I think some love him, some hate him. I think some people get tired of his ass. I think some people just have a warped perception of Baker Mayfield. Tanner, being a KU fan, probably does. Tanner's probably grown to like him a little bit, at least over the years. But I think just the candy corn in general is a very controversial topic when it comes to Halloween candy. And I think out of the quarterbacks in the NFL right now, Baker would probably be up there as one who's more controversial when it comes to debates on what the perception is of who he is as a player, because he does have ups and downs, and not everyone can agree on what he's capable of or if he's just not worthy. And I think that's what makes him candy corn, in my opinion, is that some love him, some hate him.
Sorry, I missed the name.
What?
Who was you talking about?
Holy shit, I said it 10 times.
Are you drunk?
No, I was reading Dave's comment.
He is squirrel brain today.
I was reading
Looking
Dave's
over here,
comment.
he's looking at
There's
this.
a timeout.
I don't know what's on your. What is?
Well, I got it. That's the comment I'm gonna read.
I didn't know you
He's
could
drunk.
get on
I think he's drunk. He needs to sober up.
What
tomorrow.
name did you just say? that I
Tomorrow.
don't like.
Baker Mayfield.
Oh yeah, he's all right. All right. By the way, quick here. Dave says Reese's is Tyreek Hill, because he's dipping his chocolate in butter everywhere. Good job, Dave. Appreciate you, buddy.
That's a thing.
That's
he does do a
fabulous.
lot of.
I like it.
I have Tyreek on my next
I
one.
like it.
Future porn star on that one.
Can't wait to see those.
Candy corn for me, guys. Candy corn to me is a top 5 candy, but that I'm not taking that relation here, right? So candy corn, when you taste it, you're gonna get the same taste every time, just like a Tootsie Roll, but there's a little bit more flavor to it because you got to go different directions with it, and you start at the top or you start at the bottom. For me, so quite frankly, a guy that reflects that for me is Brock Purdy. Right? You don't know which way he's going. Is he going tight end? Is he going receiver? Is he going Christian McCaffrey?
Tanner likes sugary things, doesn't he?
No, I don't actually. So
It's just like straight sugar. Candy corn?
I don't know. I just
Straight. It's
eat
like straight sugar.
candy corn. I'm sorry. I'm different. But Brock Purdy, I mean, this is a guy that's consistent. You get the same kind of outing most of the time out of him, but he can go a whole different direction in his game when it needs to be. So that's where I'm at. Brock Purdy's my candy corn.
All right, last one, guys. We can move on. Twizzlers would be the last one that you're going to get on Halloween. You might get them in a big one, but you're probably going to get the mini Twizzlers that you get in little packs. So what do you guys got for your Twizzler comparison?
Yeah, this was the most difficult one for me because I immediately thought of teams that play with a red uniform. But the problem is that we used to have the Redskins, right?
What about Patriots? Did you get the Patriots in?
No, we had the Redskins, and the Redskins were taken away from me. So I totally
Were
forgot
they ever
about.
red though?
I forgot about the
so
whole
the
team.
Twizzlers became red vines.
Yes.
So you had
Right.
to use the other words.
Oh, I see.
So anyway,
Okay.
I don't know. This is tough for me, but I went with a skinny guy because the Twizzlers are kind of skinny. I went with my boy Jerry Rice. Back in the day, skinny guy, great wide receiver. Pretty much wore red for most of his career, and that's my Twizzlers.
Does this
guy.
also mean you think Twizzlers are like the best hard candy of all time, or
They're the best red candy
Red
of all
candy
time.
of all
I think
time?
they're the
Okay.
best red candy of all time.
all right? Mine on this one, I have Tyreek Hill as a Twizzler. Reason being is that you can enjoy Twizzlers. I think everyone to an extent can enjoy a Twizzler. You're not always going to say no to it, but you could also live without it. Just like the Chiefs in the Super Bowls. So to me, a Twizzler is one of those you could take it or leave it. You enjoy it while it's there, but you also know if you don't get that Twizzler, then you can move on and and find something better along the way. And that's why To me, it's Tyreek Hill. You realize that you don't need it. You don't need it. You can live without it and have success.
By the way, before you go, Tanner, let me just say the red vines are so much better than Twizzlers.
Do you think so?
It's been that way for 20 years.
I think they taste the same.
But the number
It's
one
so
ones,
much better.
The ones that peel apart, those are by far the best. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they have to
yeah.
peel apart, yeah.
The ones that peel, like there's like
But the red
strips.
vines have those as well.
You guys know which one I'm talking about, though?
Yeah.
Like
no,
red
but
vines?
both the red vines and
Or
the Twizzlers, they make
like
those.
they come in the string.
Yeah, there's the string ones.
Yeah.
The ones
I know
that
what you're
peel
talking about.
off. Yeah, those are probably the best.
But the red vines are actually easier to chew. They're easier to chew, so you can actually eat more of it faster.
Yeah.
That's fair.
They got more of a distinct candy taste, in my opinion, too.
All right. Here we go. Final one here. Twizzlers, right?
By the way, do we need to change the name
Of
of
Twizzlers?
the red vines since we're not allowed to say red skins? Then we shouldn't be allowed to say red vines, right?
What's wrong
Isn't
with
that
red
like?
vine? What's
I
wrong
think
with
it's
red vine?
racist.
What's wrong
It's
with
probably
I don't know what-
racist.
I don't know
Well,
what
if
you're talking
Aunt Jemima needs to change her name, then
I don't understand.
Yeah,
I don't understand.
we need
what's-
to look into
I don't
that.
understand what's wrong with red vines.
should probably change
so
your name.
We got to.
What do you guys think of black licorice, which is also like Twizzler?
I was getting ready to
Racist.
talk about black
Yeah,
licorice
that's
here,
definitely
but
racist.
That's
That's
fine.
something we should avoid.
That's fine. Well, we won't talk about black licorice then. So
Well, that's Tanner's favorite over there.
Twizzlers out here is considered to be fun, right? It's fun, different, new, and it's kind of what you need as a pick me up, something easy on the go. You know, it doesn't get sticky in your hands. Generally, if you don't slobber all over it, right? You can use it as a straw. Like it's just different stuff here. And what makes it fun? Who's fun in the NFL? When you need a different kind of personality, a different guy on your team, who's different enough to make it fun for the team to be able to have that right change when you need it?
Antonio Brown.
Jameis Winston, ladies and gentlemen, eating that W, getting ready to get into it here. I mean, look, Jameis Winston, you saw what he did with the Browns here. You saw what he did with the Bucks, 30 for 30. You don't know what this guy. You get all sorts of
I love the
twisted.
30 for 30 year. It's amazing.
It is. It is. I mean, this is a guy that should have probably still been a starter here. Now he is. He's back in the role there in Cleveland, and Cleveland now has a chance. So I love Jameis Winston compared to Twizzler because he's fun. He's you got all the different kind of streams with him of what you need. A leader, a role model from all the comments he's made lately, but a guy that can go out there and lead the team to a W, and also at the same time really show his emotion, really show his energy into that huddle. So yeah, give me Jameis.
Very nice, you guys. That was our dumbass little Halloween candy discussion of the week. So I'm glad we got that out of our system.
I'm just glad I got to say Booby Dixon on the air, man. It's been a long time.
You did.
Let's see here. Oh my gosh, really? Come on. Not sticky in your hands if you don't slobber on it.
Yeah, of course Tanner would say that about Twizzlers.
No, that's what Dave said.
Well, I'm just saying what you said about Twizzlers, Tanner. You said the same thing about Twizzlers.
Well, if you don't slobber on it, yeah.
Why would you slobber on your Twizzler?
Hey, people are weird, man. I'm telling you.
I've never experienced. Well, I know. Speaking of Twizzlers, someone over there watching then had an experience at a WWF event back in the day. Those things got a little warm. Let's just say.
Well, there are a lot of people out there that have a fetish for sloppy seconds. That's
Now,
all I know.
let me ask you guys this. So, it used to be a thing like
It's a true thing, man. I'm not making it up.
would you ever sneak Twizzlers into a movie theater?
Yeah, all the time.
Like, would you shove them up your ass to sneak them in?
Ooh, no, I would not.
You wouldn't do that?
No.
Basically, just literally pack them into
I'm
your
not
ass
that
to get in there.
desperate, man.
Oh, that was what he did in the Wolf of Wall Street, right? He put the lewds up his asshole
Ooh,
to
yeah.
smuggle it onto the plane. That
Smuggle-
was a good move. That was my favorite part of that movie, actually.
Smuggle
he
some
put the
Twizzlers.
lewds up his asshole to get it onto the plane.
Sometimes you're desperate. You got to smuggle them in somehow.
TSA can't do shit, by the way, if you do that.
Well, think about when you get a pat.
TSA
If
got
you get a
nothing.
pat
TSA
down,
can't
if you get a
do
pat
shit.
down, are they going to go right for the butt crack?
No.
Because if they do, that could be a violation. So
Yeah. That's a sexual
probably
violation.
you're probably safe putting them up your butt if you have to. So I don't know. I've never tried it, but all right, guys,
Interesting.
we got two more quick things. Well, one more quick thing, and we got easy money bet of the week. Someone's gonna have to show up this week so we can get to where we need to be in our standings.
Pressure's on. The pressure's on.
All right. So one more thing I want to talk about is contenders in the AFC. I want to know what your guys' opinions are right now of who is the top contender for the Chiefs in the AFC. We only got about 4 teams to really think about at this moment. We got the Buffalo Bills sitting at 6-2 at the moment. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers at 6-2. Ravens are 5-3. Texans are 6-2. So out of these 4 teams that are by far the most likely contenders to the Chiefs in the AFC, who is most likely to have a chance to knock them off?
Yeah, I'm not going to change my answer. I gave you guys my answer at the beginning of the year, probably in the preseason, and that was the Houston Texans back then. It's still the Houston Texans. I think there's a little bit of an overreaction here when we found out that Stephon Diggs is no more.
No Nico Collins.
No, Nico, you are going to have Nico. So Nico is supposed to come back in week 10 or week 11. So right where they're sitting right now at 6-2, I do believe in that defense. The defense has kind of had its ups and downs, but I think you're going to see that defense get better as we go on. You've got to get Nico Collins back, and I think it's going to happen. Week 10, week 11, I don't think you don't need a Stephon Diggs because I think C.J. Stroud is that good, and I think they're going to peak. They're going to peak at the right time, just like I talked to you about the Chiefs. And I don't respect anybody else. I certainly don't respect the Bills. I've been saying that for years.
We're not respecting the Bills.
I mean if I had to give you a number 2 behind the Texans, it would be the Bills. But I'm just like, dude, I don't respect them that much. Why are you going for the
pretend teams, man? The pretend teams.
That would have been my second team, but like I don't trust anybody in the AFC right now. So that'd be my team, is the Houston Texans for sure.
Starsky says Stroud needs to pick it up. He's struggled this year. So
yeah, compared to last year, I'd say he struggled a little bit, but it's year 2. I mean, I think Stroud is going to be just fine. I don't think he's
maybe long term, but not this year. I think Houston in general too. Their defense does not look great. They've allowed a lot of points.
It's going to get better. It's going to get better, man.
We'll see. We'll see on that defense.
The defense is going to peak at the right time, which is what you want.
We'll see. I'm not a big fan of Houston.
So Tanner, you're narrowing it down to the Steelers and Ravens?
I'm actually.
Oh gosh,
that's what he's doing right now.
Oh god,
whoa, now.
Doing that right now.
It is going to be that division, by the way.
Speaking of Ravens, who have allowed 209 points this year.
Yeah, their defense stinks.
So Tanner's going to pick the Steelers. He's scared of Russell Wilson.
I didn't. Did I pick the Steelers here?
Shit.
Did I say the Steelers?
You're terrified of him.
I'd be scared of Russell Wilson.
I'm not scared of the Buffalo Bills. Again, they've shown when they play winning teams, they can't win this year. Houston Texans, when they played a real team, they couldn't win this year against Minnesota. And also, they struggled against Indy twice, and they have yet to blow really anybody out in that game. Houston's on the second to bottom of the list here from those teams. If you're gonna give me those lists of teams that you're talking about right now,
if I'm
Ravens, I'm still a Ravens. I think Ravens are still the scary team.
If I'm C.J. Stroud,
the contender, but if I'm gonna give you an actual team that I think is gonna sneak back in at the right time to contention. Now that they made a move, I think the Cleveland Browns are still in that mix.
Frankly. I like that better than the Steelers.
I don't.
I like that pick better than the Steelers.
Steelers are third in my book.
The Browns are 2-6.
They're 2-6 with Deshaun Watt, or 1-6 with Deshaun.
Is that your number one?
Quite frankly, to me, I think Ravens Browns are my 1 and 2.
Well, I respect your Browns pick. I don't give you any respect on the Steelers.
Why aren't you reflecting on the Steelers? Why not? They can play offense.
Because
they can score points.
When I'm taking,
they took us to a toe.
If I'm taking C.J. Stroud up against a fully washed Russell Wilson,
you think that defense for Houston's going to stop a Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry?
That's an easy pick, dude.
They are not going to stop. They're going to faint.
I'm not talking about Baltimore. I'm talking about your Steelers pick.
No, the Steelers, yes. No, probably. I don't know, man. I think Stroud chokes against the Steelers defense. I think he struggles mightily against them. I think you still got at least, I think it's a 17-14 ball game.
I'm thinking it's Baltimore and Houston. I don't respect anybody except Baltimore and Houston.
I think it's Baltimore, Browns, or Pittsburgh in that mix. I don't classify the Bills in the mix. I don't classify Houston in the mix.
I don't understand you guys at all. I don't know if you guys are doing it just to piss off Starsky, but
no.
How are you guys overlooking the Bills this much?
It doesn't make any sense. Bullshit up.
No, I don't need to pull you any bullshit up. The obvious thing is Josh Allen this year is playing an MVP level.
Yes, great, fabulous.
No interceptions this
season.
Lamar. The defense is actually playing better than expected, considering the losses that they've taken and the injuries they've dealt with. 230 points forced so far this season.
Let's talk about.
I mean, the Bills are 6-2.
You face,
but I know they've struggled a couple different times this season. I get that.
You mean playoff teams? Baltimore 35-10, Houston 23-20.
I don't care.
You're talking about New York Jets beating them by 3.
I don't care.
And then you go off.
They've only lost 2 games.
You classify beating Arizona. You classify beating I guess you beat Miami, but you always beat Miami. But Jacksonville, right? Tennessee.
Yeah, they're winning games they're supposed to
Seattle
win.
was your first great game that you actually won this season.
They're winning games they're supposed to win, Tanner.
Well, now you got Miami again this week, which you'll probably win because Miami can't beat winning teams either.
I'm talking about a team who has consistently challenged Kansas City over the years with Josh Allen in the regular season every single time.
Talk to me back in on week 16. When week 16 hits, I want to know.
Week 16, Tanner, the Chiefs and Bills play in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's
Why
one
not
of the
talk
games.
them?
No, I don't want to talk
them. The question is, who challenges the Chiefs the most in the AFC?
I'm aware. I'm aware of what you're saying, Mike.
It's not the Bills,
but
man.
that's not the state. I'm looking for consistency with winning teams. You got Kansas City, San Francisco.
No one's consistent, Tanner. Look at the AFC.
Kansas City, San Francisco, the Rams, Detroit. That 4-game stretch after 3 of them after a bye. I want to see where we're at week 16 for Bills. I'm not believing anything in the Bills until then.
Nobody trusts the Bills in the playoffs. Nobody trusts the Steelers in the playoffs.
I'm not even talking about playoff record, man. I'm just saying be competitive.
I can make a case for the Browns.
You might win the division, but ain't gonna be.
But who do we trust?
You guys blow my
do we
mind
trust?
with this one in particular.
Who do we trust to make a deep run in the playoffs? It's not the Bills. It's not the Steelers.
Lamar's
maybe
the only
Deeper
one.
than what?
Maybe the Browns.
Trust me, get deeper than what?
I trust Houston and Baltimore.
To the AFC
I
title
do
game.
not trust the
You trust
Steelers.
Baltimore with a bad defense.
To Lamar, yeah, I trust
what's
Lamar.
your argument?
Lamar, who loses every time he plays the Chiefs.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's going to
But
win
I'm
Super
saying
Bowl.
a deep run. He may not have to play the Chiefs early on. I'm saying, like, who do you
trust?
trust?
At this stage, the Ravens are about to play 2 away games in the playoffs at 5-3.
That's fine.
Behind the Steelers right now, behind the Texans, behind the Bills. They're about to be like the number 6 seed.
So what was your answer then for the number 1
He
team?
says Bills.
The Bills.
The Bills. So,
are
and
the
who
biggest
did you
challenger
have?
to the Chiefs.
I have the Ravens, I guess.
It doesn't make any
Ravens
sense. It doesn't make any sense.
and Bills.
The Bills don't make any sense.
Yes, they do.
There's
So-
no consistency. There's consistency beating bad teams, but not
Alright,
good teams.
It's the AFC.
I
There's
don't-
not. Everyone's gonna have a flaw. Everyone has flaws in the AFC.
Okay, so we're talking
So-
Miami Dolphins having a flaw last year was against good teams, right?
Here's
The
why
Bills
I
are in the
disagree
same boat
with you.
this
This
year.
is not the same boat. We're
Week
talking
16.
about Josh Allen
I
versus
disagree with him
I
on
don't
the Ravens.
care about Josh Allen
And
being
this is
having
the part of the
You're
show where we
completely
just
avoiding
talk
the
over each
fact.
other.
No,
avoiding the
I'm
fact
not.
that Josh Allen is playing at an MVP level.
Lamar
He is a top
played at
3
MVP
quarterback in the
level
NFL.
last year.
You're just ignoring the
You
fact
had-
that a
did
top
you
3
have the
quarterback
Ravens?
in the league.
Congratulations.
Ignoring it. You just don't care.
You had the
I don't.
Ravens, right?
That stat for Buffalo Bills is
It's a
is
quarterback-driven
regardless.
league, Tanner. What do you not get
You had
about
the
that?
Bills.
Okay, well,
You
so
had the
Lamar
Ravens
is going
and
to
he
be
had the
in the
Bills.
championship
Lamar
game.
sucks ass in the playoffs. We already know this. Every single
Lamar's
time.
in the title game again.
Every
Lamar's
single
in the title
time.
game again.
Every
talking
single
about?
time.
I mean,
Gets
honestly,
beat.
like,
You
'Cause he
expect
sucks.
Josh
He
Allen to
falls
be there?
apart. Josh Allen's performed well in the playoffs,
Josh
actually.
Allen performed, dude.
Yes, he has.
here's the thing.
He's
His team has
performed
let
well.
him down every single time.
That's what I'm saying. It's not
You-
Josh
you
Allen.
guys-
I'm saying
It's
his
the
team. His team is actually
Yes.
playing good. They have a running back that can rely. The defense is actually playing
You know
decent.
the
No,
funny,
dude,
the
it's-
funny
The run
thing
game is not just Josh Allen anymore.
When you play against Aaron Rodgers, who sucks, which you barely almost won.
The funny thing about
care
this
what
argument,
barely wins, Tanner.
I guess Rudolph at that time.
these
right?
guys are literally arguing
Gino. And no
about-
Metcalf. You had no Metcalf.
You
in
guys
that
are
Seattle
arguing
game.
about
No
Baltimore
Metcalf.
and the Bills. You know how funny that is? You know
Yeah,
how,
because
you
the
know how
best team in the
stupid
league is
that
the fucking Chiefs. That's why it's stupid.
Yes.
But think of it. Like, so you had Baltimore earlier in the year. Like, we respect Baltimore, right? They lost to the Chiefs because the guy's freaking toe was out of the end zone. And then when we think about the Bills, it's because the 13-second game. So, like, it's like these
It was 3 years ago, right?
It's like the Chiefs.
Way past their window.
The Chiefs can beat these teams by inches. And now all of a sudden we don't respect them. But I think you guys are probably
It's not
talking
that I don't
about
respect
the, right
the Ravens.
teams,
It's the
but
Chiefs take care of them every single time. And their defense is terrible
So
this
we do
year.
the same
I just
thing against
think
the Bills.
When I think
No.
about
The Bills and Chiefs are much tighter over the years.
bro,
Much tighter.
when I think about
And for the record, one quarterback turns the ball over every game. The other one doesn't turn it over at all anymore. So just to throw that out there.
It's coming.
bro, when I think about Buffalo and the Ravens, I think about that's old news. Like they had their chance. When I think
Yeah.
about the Houston Texans, this
Nah.
is like a new up and coming team.
If Houston
they
was
have not
better-
peaked yet. When you talk about Buffalo, when you talk about the Ravens, those two teams have peaked. We've seen the best of those two organizations right now. It's been there, done that. They're gone. We haven't seen the best of the Houston Texans organization.
You haven't seen the
that's
best
why-
of Houston Texans, period.
I just don't
I've
think
seen
they're
the
quite
best
there.
of Josh Allen. I've seen the best of Lamar and Josh Allen, and that didn't get it done. Now I want to see the best of C.J. Stroud.
We're not talking.
So he's the up-and-comer.
Why are
I don't
we
care about
saying-
the old news. You
My
guys
only
are
problem
talking
with the
about old.
Texans is they're not quite there in my opinion.
No, they've lost to
Well, you
Minnesota
You think
and
they're
Green
not
Bay.
there,
They
but they're
blew-
up-and-comers at least.
Their only blowout win is against New England.
And you guys, my problem with the argument is like you
Tanner,
guys
you
are
and
talking
the
about
blowout
old
wins.
news.
You
I
keep
don't
going
care
on
about
this.
Baltimore.
look at the scores. Look at the
Baltimore
teams they're
had their
playing.
This isn't
chance.
college football,
Buffalo had
Tanner.
their
Look at the
chance.
scores.
It's the
Look at the
NFL.
teams they're playing.
Bengals.
Blowout wins
Look
are
what
not
they're
what you look
missing.
for every
All
time.
these
No,
teams had their
but
chance
what
at Chiefs
about
and they
it?
failed. They all had their chance and they failed. Now I want to see what the Texans have to offer.
I'll go.
That's the number one
Buffalo
contender.
at the bottom, Houston, and then I'll go Browns. I'll go Steelers, Browns.
2 and 6
Ravens.
goddamn Browns. I can't believe
They're
this.
still.
Hey,
I think they're still
you
in the
know
mix,
what?
man.
I'll put the Browns as equals with the Ravens and the Bills. They're equals.
I think it's from that division. It won't
because
be
of that
Cincy.
defense.
It'll
That
be one of those three
defense.
teams.
That defense is good enough to get Jameis to upset
Yeah.
either the Bills or the Steelers or the Ravens. Any of those teams.
Yeah.
I regret this topic.
Chiefs are the better
But you
team.
should. You should
what?
regret
Did you
the
really
topic.
think that we were
I
going to pick
regret
the
this
Bills and the
Do you know
I regret
why?
this topic.
Do you know why you should regret it? Because you
I know. I
guys are
did.
bringing up old stuff. Old stuff. Nobody cares about the Bills and the Ravens, dude.
But turn
they
on-
had their freaking chance. They
Turn
failed.
all of them
Look
did.
at me.
failed.
All of them had their chance. All of them.
They failed.
Look at me.
Every one of them
I don't
did.
throw
I
interceptions.
care about C.J. Stroud.
no.
I care about C.J. Stroud. That's all I care
I beat
about.
bad teams.
All
I
right.
beat people missing big players.
Stop talking
I
about
need-
old news.
I need you guys to.
Hold on. Starsky says Buffalo is going to get better. The wide receivers and defense will get better each week. And Starsky also says Lamar hasn't been better than Allen in the playoffs. Nobody cares about that, man. I ain't worried about that. I'm working on the whole team in general.
All right. I need you guys to get it together for the last topic of the day because we are trying to get to 60% as a group this season. And I feel like we can make it happen
I
if we
got a
can just
juicy
all
one.
finally get one.
If you guys
right.
could just all pile on the JG and, you know,
The 1-7-1 JG in the easy money.
It's rough. It's
Yeah.
pretty rough.
you might have to pile on me and just like, I don't know what you have to do, man.
So,
Yeah.
all right, let's
Feed me some Halloween candy.
Get
Can
us-
you feed me some Halloween
get us
candy that'll make
introduced
it
to
better?
man. Get us introduced into it.
Okay, guys. Well, I don't know what the stats are, Tanner. You got the stats on how we're doing
you didn't
overall.
lead
as
us
a
in,
group.
man. You got to do.
But-
Now it's time for the.
It is time for the last segment of the show. The one you've been waiting for, the millions and millions of you out there watching at home, for the easy money bet of the week.
Easy money bets.
All right, guys, we're here to make you some money, of course, as usual. I'm hoping we can get it all together as a group for you guys. I want us to have picks together that, as a parlay, could even give you something. Now, we don't recommend parlays, for the record. All these bets are individual bets. Don't do parlays on these. But Tanner, I hope you don't have 12 bets waiting for us. You never know with you.
Well, no, I told you I got 4 and 4. 4 for the easy money bet, 4 side bets.
Holy, so you had 8 bets. Okay, cool.
Well, with the 8 bet, the 4 of them don't count towards our score. So
All right, well, we don't.
I do the same thing every week. Dude.
So I'm going to
Count-
catch up
count
to
your
him.
side
If
hooks.
he loses all 8, I can catch up to him.
All right, Tanner.
All right.
Do you want to go first?
Let's get a
He
recap
needs
going,
to go
ladies and gentlemen.
first.
I'm not going
8,
first.
8 bets?
He needs to go first.
What do you? No, Mike.
ahead,
We
Tanner.
do this every week, man.
Go ahead.
Come on, shut up. Just go on.
Let's do a recap for last week, ladies and gentlemen. JG had the -7 New York Jets. You know, remember, this is a guy that went Pats, lost
Amazing.
that bet at
Amazing.
+6 against Jacksonville, decided to go against the Pats. I like the strategy almost. New York Jets -7. They did not cover there. Pretty embarrassing game there, actually, in general. That leaves Jason at 1-7-1. Mike on a 4-game winning streak right now, man. He had Ravens Browns over 44.5, got that money, and Chiefs Vegas over 41, got that money. He is now 7-3 on the year. Myself, hey, first cold week in a long time. Louisville and Navy were my losses, but Tulane and the Falcons were my wins. Putting me at 12-7. Sorry, for the easy money bets. On my side bets, for those that are tracking with me, We went 1-3 in that ball game there, so we're at 50% for the year on the side bets. But we'll bounce back this week here. So that puts the Buffoons at 20-17-1, still above 500 here. Puts
that's amazing.
54.05%.
That's amazing. That means I did my job. You guys should pay me my salary.
Still
We're
waiting
getting
on your
close.
job, dude.
We're getting close for you.
So
Hit 60% as a group. We'll get there.
here we go, guys. Entering week 9, right? Week 9 for the NFL
week
season.
9 of the NFL
Week
season.
10 of the NCAA season. Here we go. JG, you're up, man.
All right, bro. So I need to pick it up here.
Need some
Obviously,
dubs,
I'm
man.
basically I'm like Tanner last year. So when I told you
I
guys,
think you're worse than me last year.
no, I told you guys you should bet against Tanner every time he makes a college football bet, and you would be a millionaire by now. And that's what happened last year. So Tanner's had a little bit of positive regression this year.
A little bit.
So I think that's eventually what I'm moving towards right now because I'm not doing so well. But I'm going to make it up to you right now, okay? I'm looking at that Green Bay Lions game. So this is my easy money bet of the week. Green Bay is plus 3.5 versus the Lions at home. Jordan Love is most likely going to play. They interviewed him. He said he's going to play. I don't really care because if he plays, they're going to dominate that game, and they're probably going to win, but the Lions are favored. But even if Malik Willis starts the game, this is a trap game for the Lions because they have a good record. It's a divisional game. You know, all those divisional games are always kind of iffy, and those games can be rigged. So whether or not Jordan Love plays or not, I don't really care. You can throw Malik Willis in there. I have Green Bay plus 3.5 at home in Lambeau Field.
All right. I don't mind the pick, man. It's a divisional game, so I think it's always interesting how those play out. So, all right. I got 2 for you guys. To start off, I just want to say that Joe Flacco, as a person you prepare for, is different than Joe Flacco as a person that comes into a game in the second or third quarter and then goes out there and then lights your ass up.
I don't know. Talk to the Browns about that last year.
Yeah, the Browns.
I love Flacco.
Your number 2 team to worry
Flacco.
about. Guys, we got Vikings in the Colts this weekend on Sunday. Vikings are -5, and I got that over the Colts. I got them to cover that -5. They're going to rebound from a tough game last week and take care of business against the Colts. Colts are not a good team, guys, by any stretch of the imagination. And I know right now they're 4-4. It looks good on paper and all that, but at the end of the day, the Vikings are just a better team, and they'll take care of business against the Colts. And Joe Flacco's going to be in for kind of a awakening a little bit as a guy who's actually being game planned for properly, on this situation. So to me, I like the Vikings, and I think that they're just a much better team to be able to win by at least 5 in this one. So I do also like if they win by exactly 5, then it's a push. So that way no one loses money, I guess. My next one is tomorrow night, as a matter of fact. Guys, you're not going to like this one too much, but
Are you falling for the trap?
as we know, well, I don't know what you think the trap is, but I'll tell you this,
Chiefs loss.
70% of the public is on the Texans right now to go plus 1.5. I have the Jets to cover 1.5 against the Texans.
Mike's not falling for
tomorrow
the trap,
night.
ladies and gentlemen. That's amazing.
This is going to be a good showing from Aaron Rodgers. He's now officially been taking cayenne and water as a supplement, which I think is giving him the vitality he needs to wake up and start playing the way he should be. But
he's 12-6 on Thursday night football games.
But yeah, well, that's over the course of a career. The guy's 40 years old now.
That's what I'm saying. 12-6.
But I just want to say the Jets themselves are a team who can take advantage of a right now injured Texans team who is coming off a rough patch currently. Who at 6-2, in my opinion, is a little bit better than what they actually are at the moment. I think they're a good team, but I do not think that they are a 7-2 team. And I think about them on paper, just like I don't think the Jets are a 6-2 team. I think the Jets are going to win 3 games after this one. But we'll see how it plays out. But either way, I got Jets and Vikings.
Did you guys see on ESPN that they were actually trying? I think it was Dan Orlovsky was drinking the cayenne pepper and water, like on the air on ESPN. I think I'm going to try it. I think
we'll do that next week.
Next week, do the cayenne pepper in the water. I've heard that it is very good for your toxic masculinity, Tanner. I think it might give you a big boost.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Is that going to help him become beta-tized?
Maybe. Maybe.
He
We'll
needs to.
find out
Well,
next week.
Think about the society we live in now. I think look at the way he acts every once in a while. He needs to tone it down.
I think men and women should start drinking it. Let's just see what happens.
Well, also, if you eat a lot of tofu, it'll increase your estrogen. And so I think that'll be a good thing to eliminate some of the testosterone you guys have and if you increase your estrogen, then we could finally get to where we need to be as a society. So, introduce
I'm not sure about that last part.
tofu.
I don't want to try
Tofu
that.
and cayenne
Nah, I don't
water?
want- He'd probably try it. I'm not messing with the tofu, man.
Tanner wouldn't eat tofu, will he?
No.
He's all man.
No shot. All right. Let's get into it here. I don't know what the hell you guys are talking about anymore.
We're talking about estrogen. Tanner.
all right.
Stay on.
Yeah,
Can you
no,
stay
no,
on
no.
Trying to
point? for
increase
once?
your estrogen.
Yes.
That way we can live in a society ran by those who are similar minded.
Yeah. Just stay on point for once in your life, Tanner. We're talking about estrogen.
All right, let's get easy money bets for the week, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hit it here. So our easy money bets of the week, I got 4 of them for you today for this slate. So we are going to hit up a couple first half bets, another full spread bet in college, and then we'll get our NFL bet of the week. So let's get at it here. Friday night. By the way, if you guys ever want to follow me, I'm on Substack. I post my weekly bets for the NCAA slate and the NFL slate. Doing pretty well actually. So you can catch me there at tan12489 on the Substack. So let's get a Friday night here. We got San Diego State versus Boise State. Boise State with a very impressive win against UNLV. And right now, quite frankly, San Diego State does not look great either. They have not performed well. Give me Boise State minus 13.5 first half spread. Minus 13.5 first half spread on Friday night. Make sure you guys get that there. You can get it at minus 105, I think, still at some books. So next up here, we'll take a look here. We're going to go, look, Florida State sucks. They're awful. They're extremely bad. I ended up betting against them last week, and it ended up working out, of course, because Florida State's just bad, right? Just bad. UNC minus 2.5 versus Florida State. I will take this all day. I think they win by like 12. I don't know how this is only 2.5. So go UNC minus 2.5 versus Florida State next week here. And then we're going back at it here. Last time. If they don't cover, it's over. Just like Kentucky for me. It's over. K-State versus Houston. K-State is minus 12.5. This is easily a 2-touchdown win game for them. Houston is horrible. And they just beat KU barely, thanks to Jaden Daniels doing Jaden Daniels things. Jaden Daniels, did I say that right?
Jaden?
Did I say that right, Daniels?
Do you mean Jalen?
Yeah, I think Jalen, not
Yeah,
Jaden.
Jalen. You don't want to get them cursed, Tanner.
Well, we talked about Jaden. I talked about
one
Jaden
is
Daniels
pretty
earlier.
good. The other one seems
Yeah.
to have problems.
Jalen Daniels doing Jalen Daniels things. So
Turning the ball over.
Houston got destroyed by KU. K-State should easily have a 2-touchdown win here. So give me K-State minus 12.5 against Houston. And then finally, we're going back to it here. Last week we did Falcons minus 2.5, and this week we're going Falcons minus 2.5 against the Cowgirls. You can get that there on Caesars actually still, I believe still too. So those are our 4 main bets, and I love every bit of it. I got 4 side bets for you because I know some people, Starsky, like to do a lot more with me. We are going Army minus 13.5 first half bets, Navy minus 6.5 first half bets, Indiana minus 4.5 first half bets, and I'll drop you a controversial side bet that one of the buffoons already placed here. We're going Lions minus 3 in the side bet range here for that. So
Spicy.
I do not believe in Green Bay, and I believe the Lions
Spicy.
are what the Lions are. Watch out, NFC. You got to own her. So.
Basically, Malik Willis sucks.
No, I think Jordan Love sucks.
You don't even know who the quarterback's going
I
to be
don't
in
care.
that game.
I don't
You
care. I don't care if Brett Favre comes
All
out of
right, man.
retirement, man. It's Lions will win this game by
Well,
10.
You want to do
Brett
a
Favre's
hundo?
busy being a piece of garbage. I'll tell you that
He
much.
is a piece of garbage.
You want to do a hundo live on the
no,
show?
I ain't doing the fucking hundo with you. No.
All right.
So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your
Chicken
easy,
shit.
Your easy money bets of the week. JG has Green Bay plus 3.5. Mike with the Vikings minus 5. Jets minus 1.5. Myself, I have Boise State minus 13.5 first half spread. UNC minus 2.5 first half spread. K-State minus 12.5 for the game. Falcons minus 2.5. So let's get at it here. By the way, I ended up winning my bets tonight, guys. Appreciate it. So I'm
There you
2-0
go.
on the week already. Better start than last
start.
week. So
Tanner starts on Wednesdays. I always start on Thursdays.
yes,
for my
I
bets.
start. Well, usually Tuesdays, but I didn't like last night's game, so we went Wednesdays today. Bet against my former best friends, Liberty, because Liberty's dead to me now. So
Liberty sucks.
they're bad
Yeah, they're
now.
pretty crappy.
They were good, but they're bad now. So, but yeah, there you go,
right.
ladies and gentlemen. Let's get to 60%.
That's the goal, man. Let's get it going. So obviously tomorrow night I got a bet, so that'll be fun to see how that unfolds, and
Yep. And we
should
start
be an interesting game.
start tomorrow, guys. So get those in.
All right, guys. Well, any final thoughts before we get out of here? We're going to watch the rest of this World Series, I guess. But
Monday.
I've got some final thoughts after
Jason.
you're done.
Jason.
Just close it out, man.
Jason.
I got some final
You know it
thoughts.
starts Monday. You know it starts Monday, right?
Cryptocurrencies.
did you go vote yet, Taylor?
Cryptocurrencies.
No, I've not voted.
Did you buy crypto yet?
I
Crypto
did.
and the elections. That's all we
you
care
know
about.
what starts Monday?
That's true.
You guys know what starts Monday? Mike, do you know what starts Monday?
Bitcoin.
Is it a blue moon?
Any idea? Any idea, guys?
Chiefs game's definitely Monday. So Chiefs and Buccaneers start.
Well, we
Monday.
already had early voting, so I know it's
Yeah,
not
Chiefs-
that. It's
Chiefs
already
are
over
Monday.
with.
So
College basketball starts Monday, ladies and gentlemen. We're getting into it. Watch next week. We'll have some college basketball bets for you
I'm glad
on the
you-
easy money bets here.
I'm glad you brought that up. That's leading into my outro. Send it in, Mike.
all right, guys. Well, that's all for this one. So I will see you all on the next one.
Jack off blast.
See you guys.
There's some gnats in here now. Got fruit flies in here. This pumpkin.